Corrupt judiciary cultists should not destroy Nigeria by legitimizing identity fraudsters, Peter Obi warns. I know the frustration has already setting in. The man is already beginning to see that Nigeria is far from getting better. That is the truth. I think it's getting done on him that this case is not going anywhere with the kind of judiciary that we have. All right, so let's dive into the detail and see what more that Peter Obi has to say. Peter Obi, the Labour Party presidential candidate in the election for president on February 25, 2023, has issued a warning to corrupt judiciary cultists not to undermine Nigeria and its democracy by their connections to influential politicians. Mr. Obi made the remark on Tuesday via his Twitter account as part of his ongoing efforts to legally and politically push for the overturning of the election result, insisting on the as yet unproven claim that he is a legitimate winner. The former governor of Anambra State reaffirmed in a forceful speech that political leaders shouldn't ostentatiously hold titles for which they lack the honor to stand behind them. He said that in situations where there is public doubt as to the authenticity of claims made by political leaders, it is the judiciary role, when called upon, to uphold the honor of the titles through transparent rulings. Only through such judicial intervention can the public be protected from the tyranny of dubious and, duplicitous characters and identity fraudsters, he said. In such situations, the judiciary has a bounden duty to protect society's value system. This is one of the obligations of an impartial judiciary in a democracy. However, when the fairness of the judiciary is not assured and the transparency of judiciary operatives is uncertain, the rule of law will come under severe threat. Once ordinary people lose faith in the fairness of the judiciary, the rule of law is threatened. So when faith in democracy comes under threat as well, with it, faith in democracy comes under threat as well. A society is endangered when the rule of the powerful and the rule of the rich and the mighty replaces the rule of law. When that happens, justice becomes a commodity to be traded between the rich and the powerful and a court of corrupt judicial operatives, he added. Both Mr. Obi and the opposition candidate from the Democratic Party, Atiku Abubakar, had their petitions dismissed after a drawn-out decision by the Presidential Election Tribunal of the Court of Appeal. Now, the tribunal cited the petition's lack of merit and inability to substantiate their claims. For opposition's lawmakers who had set their sights on ousting President Bola Tinubu from the Aso Rock mansion, this ruling represents a severe blow. So while additional evidence of certificate fabrication and identity misrepresentation is now before the nation's highest court, the presidential candidates have changed their focus from challenging the election result to call for potential disqualification of Mr. Tinubu and subsequent repeat. The decision regarding the acceptance or rejection of the evidence now looms on the horizon, poised to determine the course of Nigeria's political future. Like many other political observers, Mr. Obi's position alludes to the fact that Nigeria's judiciary and its perceived untoward politicization make it impossible for appellants before it to have enough confidence in its impartiality and ability to deliver a justifiable verdict. The country is gone now. The judiciary is already a court. The judiciary has always been a court, right from time immemorial. That's the truth. Judiciary has always been a court. The fact here remains that Nigeria is far from being a nation that regards rule of law. Nigeria absolutely undermines rule of law. So, but what I see here is that Nigeria judiciary is now finally about to entrench corruption and legitimization of corruption in Nigeria. That's exactly what is about to take place. It's going to legitimize everything bad in Nigeria through politicians. And the economy is grounding, everything is grounding. The judiciary is seeing the sign, but they have been paid heavily, so they are doing the bid of their paymaster. It's a very bad situation that Nigeria has found itself. Someone said Nigeria society is riddled with bribery and corruption. That is it. Another person said, Bita Obi, please tell the world one out of all your allegations that you have been able to prove beyond reasonable doubt. Can you imagine? Someone said, B is a 419. That's what I'm saying. He has nothing to deliver. Can you imagine? Quite unfortunate, I tell you. Somebody is telling them you are criminals and supporting evils. It's no wahala. Obi needs to be arrested, tried, and jailed for contempt of court for degrading the judges. Go and arrest him now if you can. And that is what will end the case. Watch out. So Peter Obi cried twice now. He should get ready to do what he knows to do best. And what is that? The same corrupt judiciary installed you in Anambra, though they were not corrupt when they removed Ngige for you. Can you imagine what these people are writing again here? So people are disparaging Obi now for making the statement he has made. Unfortunately, the truth is that the Nigeria is dying and not one person is going to suffer it. Everybody will suffer it together. Not one person will suffer it. It is going to be everybody suffering it together. Quite unfortunate situation that Nigeria has found itself. That it is actually frustrating that judiciary cannot be relied upon. Very frustrating that judiciary cannot be relied upon. It is a very bad one. I tell you, where are we? Where are we? Where are we? Where are we in Nigeria? How come Nigeria has gotten to a point where nothing works? How come Nigeria has gotten to a point where judiciary is not for common man anymore? How come Nigeria have seared their conscience with hot iron and have sold their conscience to ungodliness to a point that even justice is now perverted? It is actually a very bad situation that we have found ourselves. Quite unfortunate, I must tell you. Quite absolutely unfortunate. So B has said it, but it's not going to change anything. The corrupt politicians is now already operating like a cult and have, perverse judgment, and Nigeria is doomed. That is the way it is. Let everybody go back to his tent and let everybody suffer it. The way Nigeria is going to get better is when everybody comes together to say enough is enough. Until then, nothing will happen. But when will that come? Only God knows. So thank you for listening, and let's have your comment.